Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show. We got the full squad of four here for the Avs taking on the Dallas Stars. To use the cliche, biggest game of the season so far. Don't think there's too much doubt about that. Obviously, a direct battle for the top of the Central Division tonight. So
it's their second biggest game of the season this season.
Yeah, the other one didn't go super well.
Yeah,
against Vegas.
Yeah.
So hopefully a better play. I'm not even going to say better result, but hopefully it's a better game all the way around for the Avs at the very least. Expectations for tonight from you guys? I think we're all kind of expecting a good game tonight. Yeah?
I'm hoping for a good game.
Hoping, not expecting?
No.
All right. Well.
No. They've gotten blown out their last two Saturdays, and Colorado in Dallas is always an adventure. So I'm just saying.
The likes of Joe Pavelski do exist. So
Sorry, it's not funny.
It's a little funny.
Just having weird dreams about him.
I think the Avs regularly have some weird dreams about him, too. So, fair enough.
Those are nightmares. Not dreams.
They might be more nightmarish. That definitely fair to say. I wanted to get your guys' take on the Avs' top guys. Because you look at a game like the other night, McKinnon has 2 assists, Makar has 3 assists. It's not like they aren't producing. Makar is producing over an assist per game. Do you guys think there's still more to get out of those top dudes?
I'll go first. I think they have another gear. I like their first few games. Then I think they went away a little bit. I'm talking about the dominance. Went away for a couple games. That 3 out of 4 that didn't go well, obviously. Hey, listen, if you get shut out 3 out of 4 and you're a point producer, it didn't go well, right? I do believe they have another gear. We were talking about that 2 days ago. Like, McKinnon's got, what is it, like 11 points his last 5 games, and it just feels like he hasn't really played to his capability. But that's amazing. I'd like to have that 11 points. That's 3 good months for me. So I mean, like, you know what I mean. So I'm just saying. Again, everybody's slotted differently, but I expect them to get another gear. And to get back to that question from earlier, like, I'm going to be more optimistic. I'm going to predict tonight you see the A game for both teams. I'm going with that tonight. I'm hoping for that, but I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a tight played game. 2 good teams, a lot to prove. Obviously, you always want to make sure you're chasing first place in the division, right? You never want to go too far, and obviously if you're Dallas, you want to go further ahead. So it'll be interesting tonight, but I do believe the Avs top guys have another gear as a group together.
I think because of how closely these teams match up on paper, as a team, it's a big test. It's not Anaheim, and I do think that those are nights where Rantanen wasn't as noticeable because he didn't necessarily need to be, and I think that Rantanen especially has a way of showing up when he's needed most, and this is a night where I think he will be needed most. All of the Avs' top stars will be. You know, the storyline probably isn't going to be Kiviranta again, though. Given it could be a revenge game, it would be a really fun storyline, but that's what makes it an individual test for players like Rantanen, because he is going to be getting some of the toughest matchups on the ice, and so they're going to have to be pretty responsible defensively too, but if they can contribute goal scoring to help Georgiev to have the goal support that's needed so he can have confidence and have a good night in net, it is really important then on an individual level for these guys to see where they're at, especially competitive players like Nathan McKinnon, who I think are motivated by that competition. It's really important then for them to show up from the drop of the puck.
As Eric kind of mentioned, you haven't seen losing the 3 of 4 in that big game against Vegas. The Avs, forget their big stars, nobody on the team has really showed up for some of the big games of the season so far. So it would be nice, and that starts with the top guys, if you get a little bit of that. But we got E's 3 keys right here to bring you the recipe for success.
Love it.
You're doing some bacon, maybe cooking up a little dinner. All right.
AJ would say pancakes because he likes pancakes.
I do like pancakes.
Right? All right. Well, you know, I'm excited. I think it's going to be an awesome game tonight. So make a statement as a team. We just talked about it. I'm not sure Megan said it. Like, it's not, no disrespect to Anaheim. On the tie back-to-back. This is a big game. You got to show up. You got to control the game. You got to make them adjust to you. You're the Stanley Cup champs from 2 years ago. You've had more success than these guys the last few years. This is a good team, but just be smart with the puck. Be smart, especially between the two blue lines. You don't want to turn that puck over. These guys have a transition game that can kill you. Guys like Heiskanen, guys like Pavelski, Robertson. So it's going to be interesting tonight to make sure that they play the right way. And Bednar always says that, right? Coach Bednar always says play the right way. And the right way means sometimes it's not there between the blue lines, sometimes it's there. And if it's not there, don't turn that puck over. It's a very simple thing to do. I know it's not that easy to do once you're in the middle of the action, but if they can do that tonight, they'll be successful. I'm a big believer in the special teams battle. So win the special teams battle, I think in playoffs, is so crucial. Tonight, you treat that like a playoff game. It's a very important part. And then the best way to be better on the special teams to be disciplined. Don't take those penalties. We talked about that a couple shows ago, like those offensive zone penalties and a little careless penalties and hooking. And make sure you're the more disciplined team. You have less penalties to kill. Your goalie gets less taxed on during the game. So very important. Number 3, win the battle on the crease. 2 of the best right now. 2 of the top 10 goalies. Ottinger, excellent goalie. Georgiev's been great for us, as we know. Does he need a big game right now? I think he does. I think he needs to show that those are things that you get ready during the regular season for the big dance in April, right? And those are the big tests. And you'll go back and you want to show what you can do in big games like this one. And then you got to be there. I know every save is timely. We know that. But you got to be there for the big save there and big pushes or big momentum swings. And that's, for me, got to be a big key tonight for Georgiev and the rest of the Avalanche.
I want to ask, ignore contracts, ignore age. Which goalie do you take for 1 year, Georgiev or Ottinger?
It's Ottinger.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's still Ottinger.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. I've always been before.
I think it's fair.
Georgiev
I
came here.
just wanted to have that conversation because when you look at these two lineups, you probably do give the nod to Dallas in net a little bit, at least certainly right now.
Pretty close battle all the way down the roster, though.
It is.
Avs probably win the defensive side of it. Not to take it. Look, I love Miro Heiskanen, but he's not Cale Makar.
No.
And the guys immediately after.
Yep.
There's a pretty big
It
gap.
falls off pretty quick.
Yeah.
Devon Taves instead of Esa Lindell, things like that. Forward side, I think it's closer than it was a couple years ago, but I would still give the edge to the Avs just a little bit when it comes to the forwards.
I'm mulling over their third line.
Sure.
It is quite competitive, and the Avs' current third line has been rolling. So I actually think this is, when I talk about individual tests, a really good way for that third line to see how they stack up against a playoff caliber team.
Yep.
Jack Johnson said something interesting, I believe, to Jesse Montano early this morning about the team wanting to play their best hockey at the right time of the year and sort of looking to strike that balance. And I feel like games like tonight are important litmus tests to see where they actually stand for April hockey.
Yep.
And I think this is an interesting thing then on the conversation of depth, because Dallas's forward court is really well constructed. I'm really not so sure about their fourth line. Still not totally sure about Avs' fourth line, though, either. So it really, line by line, is really close. I would say, though, the top 6, the Avs, I think, still do have the edge.
Yep.
Personally. Even though they're still figuring some things out with Drew and Tatar, like if Lehkonen were in the lineup tonight, it would be an easy Avs get that nod, in my opinion.
And what is it, Duchesne, Marchment?
Sagan.
Sagan, yeah. I'll take, on a playoff game, I got one game to win. I'll take Wood, Colton,
LOC in the current format, yeah.
But I understand your point. Yeah, I'm not bagging your point. I'm saying on a playoff battle, I'll take that line, especially.
Matt Duchesne historically has great postseasons.
Well, he's never really gone deep in the postseason. I'm not here to bash Matt Duchesne, but I've never seen him go past the first round, or I don't know.
He just wanted to play playoff hockey, okay? Look, at the top, both of these teams do have a lot of firepower. Obviously, Rantanen, McKinnon, Makar for the Avs. But you do have Jason Robertson on the other side. You do have a seemingly ageless Joe Pavelski. what is Jamie Benn on any given season? Sometimes he can produce like a maniac. Sometimes he doesn't. I don't know.
Rupe Hintz is awesome.
Rupe Hintz, amazing. Hard to argue with that
Best
talent
name
too.
in hockey, that's for sure.
You think
Best
so?
name, Rupe Hintz. Are you kidding me?
It's a good name. I won't argue.
Love it.
Is that the difference? Does it come down to which goaltender can prevent more? You think so? You don't think this one is going to be a scoring race?
Every game's a scoring race. It's just that...
You know what I mean.
Is it going to be a 6-5 barn burner? I would be surprised.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I think we're in for our first true 3-2, 3-1.
Race to 3,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Grind it out. Every power play, you're white knuckling a little bit. It's, I think we're in for a tense hockey game.
I'm down.
Fun.
Honestly, I'm ready for a good one. Let's get to my bets for this game. First time in a long time. You can get the Avs positive money on the money line tonight. So take that where you can. Doesn't happen very often. Then I picked the first period tie. Like I said, I think it's going to be a close game. They tie the first period at plus 280.
Let's go 0-0.
Yep, it could well be 0-0. And then I took the Makar power play point because I will take that every time it's plus money. You cannot stop me. It's just going to happen every single time. You can do your betting over with Bet365. Make sure you get over there. Download their app today and use the DNVR 365 code to keep your sports never ordinary. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Looking at tonight's game, looking at the standings implications, obviously you care. Obviously you want to win the game, but how much of a difference does getting the 2 points tonight make for Colorado?
For Colorado, I've talked about this a couple times over the last week, but it sets you up. You win in this game in regulation, you go to Nashville, and you're at home against Vancouver, which could be an interesting night. And then Minnesota, Calgary, you have a bunch of teams that are struggling coming up on your schedule where outside of Dallas and Vancouver, you could really be looking at 5 of the next 7. They should really, really, really win.
Yep.
You win this game, you're talking 6 of 7. And we talk about the 10-game segments. You win this game, it sets you up to have an 8-2 second 10 games. 7-3, 8-2. And you're right on schedule for that roughly 110 points that we've said
Should be the target.
Yeah, that should be the goal for winning the division. So it's a big win. It would be a big win.
Seeing how neck and neck it got at the end of last year within the division, being able to add to your points total within the division and take those points away from Dallas in the process is home ice advantage early in the playoffs. It's dramatic to say that that's what the win tonight suggests, but seeing how close it came down to the wire for the Avs last year, it's necessary insurance in the division points race.
Fair to say every point matters.
And I never look at. I always say it. I don't look at standings. I don't after Christmas. But you know where you are in the race, right? As a team, you do know. As a player, you do know. Me, I'm more worried about the 10-game segments. You know what I mean? I've always been wired that way, and I'm always going to be wired that way. So then they were 7-3 after 10. Right now you're 2, whatever it is. Like I don't even know. Like I'm not good at math, but right, you're give and take. You've already lost 2 in this segment.
2 in this section of 10.
Right, you've already lost 2.
So they're 3 and 2 right now.
You don't want to lose too many, right? And then that's how I look at it. And then AJ's right. You win that one, sets you up for Nashville, sets you up, and it's a confidence booster, right? I know it's early in the year, but we all know Dallas will be there at the end of the year, and Colorado's going to be there at the end of the year. So you go back. For me, the biggest thing tonight, both teams are rested. Mm-hmm. No team's coming in that's went to bed at 4 a.m. because of a long flight the night before from a game. Everybody's rested. There's no excuses. Everyone's pretty decent. I know Lekkonen's missing, and there's a couple, even on their side. Like I can't even think right now. But what I'm saying is, it's a pretty healthy lineups for both sides, right? I mean, so I think it's interesting tonight, and I think that top guys need to be great. Goaltending needs to be great, and I'm going back to my keys and special teams.
So
see what happens.
an interdivision matchup, two good teams. We all know it's going to be a 3-point night, right? This game's destined for overtime.
Also, it involves Dallas. So.
And Joe Pavelski. There you go.
Now, there you go.
Yeah, Joe Pavelski tipping in a game-winning goal in overtime just feels inevitable, right?
Don't finish
Only
that.
if he doesn't do that in the first 2 minutes of the game. Because that feels like it's the other option.
Get through 60 minutes.
Challenge.
Get at least a point out of it. We are about 10 minutes from puck drop here, so we are going to wrap up our pregame show. We do have a watch along tonight. If you want to join for that, come hang out. If not, we will be live post-game breaking down no matter how this game goes. So tune in over there, same YouTube channel, all that stuff. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple minutes. If not, we'll see you after the game.
We all silly like the mayor.